I'm Linda Thompson, and welcome to the Author Show. We have a returning author today, Cynthia Vespia. She has written her second book, Demon Hunter, The Chosen One. Now, this cover is really interesting because there's this really buff dude on the front with some kind of a strange thing in the background with fire coming out of his ears. But she says in her tagline, a story about a nobody who becomes a somebody in the bloodiest of ways. And this nice young lady you would never think would write something like this. So let's learn a little bit more about Cynthia. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back. But nice young lady, I don't think you know me well at all.
Well, this is the second time I've seen you,
right.
So let's go into that a little bit. The Demon Hunter.
Right.
I mean, you do come up with some very interesting titles and some very interesting storylines, so tell us a little bit about where this takes place and what it's about.
The title is always the hardest thing to come up with. It's got to be grabbing. The Demon Hunter is one of the darkest novels that I've written to date. It's based along the lines of the dark fantasy genre, or supernatural thrillers as they're being called now, horror, all those things. They're getting very, very popular, so I thought about delving into it myself, but what I've done is I've taken that genre and I've blended it with the heroic scope novels, like Lord of the Rings, the long journeys with multiple characters. So I've blended the two together, married them almost, and then Demon Hunter was born. So.
Well, the last book, The Crescent, was being made into a movie. This book sounds to me like it would be a perfect video game for the kids.
That would be great. You know, I'll segue in anything.
Okay, Costa Calabrese. Is he the main character in the novel?
He is the main character in the novel. He's a young slave boy. And what's going on here now is that his actual past and heritage has been hidden from him for many, many years. So it turns out he's actually kin to a famous and feared hunter of demons. And now that he's come to learn that his lineage, the demons have found out about him as well. They're going after him. He's got to learn to go after them before they take out his whole family line and destroy the earth. So now Costa has to go seek out the master of weapons, Talos, and learn his trade, essentially. So it's like this one, I'll tell you right now, Demon Hunter is going to be a 3-part series. This is the introduction to Costa, learning his craft as a demon hunter, and going from there.
Okay, so. What time period does this take place in? Or is it just open for interpretation?
It's more. It's not so much contemporary. It's set back in the days of swords and evil and demons and stuff like that, walking the earth. So I like fantasy novels. I read a lot of fantasy. I grew up on Conan, Robert E. Howard stuff. So I do tend to delve a lot into that particular genre, and Demon Hunter just kind of fell along those lines as well.
Okay. Well, it's really interesting that you can do this, but how much of reality can you bring into this when, I understand historical fiction, but when you get into this side of it, which really never happened,
right?
How do you jump in and out of reality?
You know, it's funny, one of my taglines is my stories are basically situations that you could find yourself in, but hope to God you never do. This one being based back in those kind of days, you probably wouldn't find yourself face to face with a vampire, although, you know, I am from Vegas, who knows out there. But what I do with most of my novels, I do draw from bits and pieces of reality. So with Demon Hunter, it's actually a learning experience. Bottom line with this story, even though it's a fantasy novel, he's going after demons and stuff like that and all those things. Bottom line of it is it's about growth. The main character is going through a lot of changes. And the time that I was writing this actually took me about 2 years to complete. The time that I was writing this, I was going through my own changes. As a fitness competitor, I was learning how to take losing in stride. So there's various lessons that you can learn from competing and winning, losing, stuff like that. And along that time, I was training with a couple of different people, and I was drawing lessons from their teachings, not just for my martial arts or the fitness or whatever, but life lessons as well. So when you have Costa go and he starts his training to become a hunter of demons, that's where I'm pulling that from. So he's learning similar lessons that I learned.
So you've always kind of had your head in this fantasy world a little bit.
I'm always living in fantasy. Reality is the scary thing.
Okay, where can we find Demon Hunters?
Demon Hunter is released by Aspen Mountain Press. You can find it on aspenmountainpress.com. As always, my website, cynthiavespia.com.
Okay, and is this hardcover book or is it just exclusively an ebook?
It's exclusively an ebook. This is the first time I'm venturing into that genre or that realm. It's actually, I think it's a good thing with technology going the way it is, and they're coming out with the Kindle and the iPod or ebook readers on iPods, stuff like that. It's a different foray. You can also get Demon Hunter right this second. Just go on one of the websites, click on it, and you're ready to read it right now.
And the nice thing about those electronic readers is they automatically expand the size of print for you.
There you go.
And I think that's pretty cool because that way you don't have to put your glasses on in order to read it. Now,
they also hold about 1,500 books in one sitting. So.
Okay, 3 parts. How far you come along with the part 2?
Part 2, I'm about 2 or 3 chapters in right now. A little bit different. Costa's a little bit more grown up. There's actually his companions have come back with him. We've got Talissa and Parale. They'll reoccur from the first book, and a little bit of a love interest spark going on in this one.
All right.
See, when I write my novels, I don't necessarily know where they're going. I'm going on the journey myself. So.
All right. With the love interest, is that paralleling reality again?
Oh, yeah, actually, yes.
Okay, I kind of figured as much.
Is that why I'm glowing?
Okay, what would you like to leave your readers and our audience with as far as Demon Hunters? Is there a lesson in Demon Hunters?
There's quite a few lessons in Demon Hunter. Like I said, it's learning to lose, learning to find your attributes, find yourself. Most of all, when I write, though, it's for entertainment. I'm not necessarily out to change the world with a message or anything like that. But I do find if I go back and reread some of my work, there's an underlying theme. And the underlying theme in this is, like I said, basically, if you have a dream, go for it. No matter what anybody else tells you.
That's great. Cynthia, it's been a pleasure seeing you again. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me back.
I'm Linda Thompson, and we hope you'll join us next time. The Demon Hunters, The Chosen One. Sounds like a very sexy guy to me, and sounds like something that I'd really like to read. And let's all pitch in and go to our computers and order an ebook. Perhaps you will not have to put your reading glasses on if you do that. Just remember that a book can change a life, one word at a time.
Good.